Welcome back to another unboxing with Crate Club. I'm going to cut straight to the chase. This is a box. It has cool things. It has cool things that I know that you wish you had if you didn't already have it. But my goal today is to tell you about all the cool things that are inside this box, and maybe that will inspire you to become a member of our club. This is Crate Club. This is what we do. We talk about tactical stuff. We talked about preparedness, we talked about safety. It's just what we do. We love having the right tools in the right hands at the right time in the right place. And that's like what makes a difference in life sometimes. Like I hate to boil everything down to a life and death scenario because it's not always that dramatic. But it does matter. It's not about life and death sometimes, it's just about convenience. You want to have the right medical equipment on standby when your son or daughter, scrapes his knee at the park. Maybe you just want to have the right blade on hand if you need to cut open a box that showed up on your front porch. Small stuff like that. Maybe your car has decided it doesn't want to be a car anymore and it dies on the side of the road. You want to make sure that you have water. You want to make sure that you have battery packs. You want to have the ability to at least sit comfortably on the side of the road until roadside assistance comes and gets you. Whatever it is, right? Scenarios that we all encounter, you're going to be inconvenienced at some point in your life. Our goal is not necessarily to save your life every single day, but it's to make your life more convenient. If that's not a good sell, I don't know what is. Without further ado, let's get into supply drop number 31. So as always, I like to say this, there are 4 tiers to our club. There's the lieutenant, the captain, the major, and the general. Those are 4 different tiers. At each price point, you get different stuff. There's always gonna be bang for your buck, but the bigger box you get, the more bang for the buck you're gonna get. We always feature our major box because it's the biggest month-to-month box that we send out every 30 days. There is a general, which is like the big boy that goes out quarterly or 4 times per year. There's something out there for everybody. I know for a fact that there's something in here that you wish you had. It will convenience your life in some way, and if it's not your life, I bet it's someone that you know. Friends, family, it's great gifts. It's nice to have stuff on hand that your friends and family will appreciate. Whatever it is, it's good stuff inside this box. So let's get after it. Inside of our crates, we include these little pamphlets. We call them monthly cards. This is something that I write. It's simply a short description of the items that are inside your box. Read it if you want to, don't read it if you don't want to. It's just information. Some people like to have the specifics. They want to know what the blade material is that they've acquired, or what the handle is, or what types of scenarios that a certain medical device should be used in. And that information is going to be stored right here. So read it if you want to, otherwise just keep it. I have a whole stack of mine actually. They're like little keepsakes of all the things that I have collected over the years. So we're gonna start with our biggest item first, primarily because it's so big that it's literally sticking out of the box here, and I can't even access the rest of the items that are in here until I get rid of this one. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you a kick-ass duffel bag from DEFCON 5. The DEFCON 5 Tactical Duffel Bag. This blacked out 55-liter tactical duffel bag / backpack is guaranteed to become your new go-to bag. With a water-resistant outer shell, aggressive construction, and a large, easy-to-access D-shaped opening, this bag can be used for range gear, field equipment, bug-out supplies, or even just a weekend getaway. This tactical duffel features a top handle, side grips, a singular crossbody strap, and 2 padded backpack straps, giving the user a wide variety of carry options. MOLLE type webbing around the sides of the bag, a large interior mesh pocket, and multiple external clips further create the ultimate tactical day bag. Here's your new duffel bag. Before I show you this one, let me show you the one I've been carrying. Seriously, we put this stuff to use before we put it on your front door. We want to make sure that the items that we send out have been field tested, they've been reviewed, they are expert approved, and the whole team has a good feeling about it before we send it out. So I got a hold of this DEFCON 5 duffel bag almost a year ago, I think, and it has been my go-to range bag ever since. So what's great about this bag is one, that it's one giant compartment. There's no pockets necessarily, it's just one big convenient open space. I personally like that. Second, I know we described it as water resistant. The shell, this outer layer, is 100% waterproof. There's no water getting in or out of these side pockets. Yes, it's actually waterproof. We have to say water resistant because of the actual lining of the zippers. There's a small cloth section that will allow, if you had an extreme amount of water, it would seep through the zipper area, but the majority of it is completely waterproof, which is awesome. So I've been using it as a range bag. You can use it however you like. Make it a duffel bag for your weekend trips. You can make it your go-to bug out bag. You can use it for whatever you want to. I like it because it is tactical, but it doesn't scream, look at me, I'm a lethal warrior in the airport, whatever. I think it's a great bag just for its overall use. You've got options. You can make it tactical if you want to, or just make it your weekend bag. Plenty of carry options, which I really like. So you can see here, I have the backpack straps kind of deployed here at all times. You can actually unclip these. You'll notice that on your bag, the one that has showed up at your front door, There are currently no backpack straps visible. That's because they're currently tucked away inside of here. So inside here are your backpack straps. You simply pull them out, clip them at the bottom, and now you've got backpack straps. If you don't want them because they're kind of in the way, you just leave them tucked in there and you never even know they're there. In fact, if I didn't tell you that, you probably didn't even know they were there. I am not inconvenienced by the backpack straps. That's kind of how I prefer to carry things anyway. If it can go on my back, I'm gonna throw it on my back. So I keep the backpack straps out and clipped at all times. If you don't want to use a backpack strap, you do have a singular handle here. You've got handles on the sides. And then also inside of here, we featured a singular crossbody strap. You hook it the same way, you can carry it over one shoulder. You've got options, whatever's most convenient for you. I've been using it as a range bag because it's tough. I can take it to the range, I keep ammo, I keep gun parts, I keep ear pro, I keep gloves, I keep eye pro, whatever it is, it's all inside here. Medical equipment, bug spray, sunscreen, you name it, it's all thrown in here. So unzip this bad boy, you have one giant D-shaped flap on top, and then you can access all your things on the inside. Ear pro, more ear pro, medical equipment, 550 cord, targets, duct tape, hats, another hat, slings. I don't know why that's in there, but I have a black rubber glove, lube, a fire extinguisher. See where I'm going with this? These are some of the things you definitely need to have with you at every range day, but that's a different day, different video. Inside the top flap, you do have another mesh pocket. You can use this for whatever you like. Super convenient that it's there. You've got MOLLE webbing on the sides here for attachments if you want to go that route. You have a pocket on one side, which again, just sort of external storage, use it however you like. I think it's a great bag because it's tactical, because it's simple, and because you can make it what you want to make it. Now you will notice the only changes over the course of the year was the logo on the side. I don't know if this is like an alternate logo for DEF CON. The one that you ended up getting actually has this like eagle or hawk on it and the DEF CON 5 emblems on it. And then last but not least, you do have a spot here for a name tape or like a unit identifier, whatever you want to slap on here. And then you've got a little pocket where you can put your information in case you get separated from your bag. People know that this is yours and they can get it back to you if need be. Dude, it's a great bag. I'm stoked that I have two of them. I'm sorry you only have one, but I've been waiting for an entire year to get a second one because I want this one to be my like weekender bag. I'm not gonna dump all this stuff out. This is now my dedicated range bag. It's never gonna be anything but my range bag. But now I have a second one that I can actually use for weekend activities. Make it a gym bag. Lots of options. It's great, I love it. But enough about the bag. We're gonna move on from here. So the next item I'm gonna show you is a supplement. Mountain Ops Ignite. Lately, we've been getting into the health and fitness side of preparedness. If this is an aspect of your readiness that you've been neglecting, it's time to take charge. And there's no better way to ignite those efforts than with a scoop of Ignite from Mountain Ops supplements. Whether you like it or not, vitamins and minerals matter. Alertness matters. Whether you're looking to attack some yard work, crank out some files at the office, or if you're 18 plus hours into a military field exercise, Ignite can give you the boost you need to approach these tasks with confidence and vigor. So we've been kind of testing the waters with supplements. This is not something that this club has traditionally sent out in the past, but when I came on, I was like, hey, there's aspects of readiness that we're not really hinting on, and that's like our own health and fitness, right? By taking this, you don't become a more fit individual, but it is loaded with caffeine and brain vitamins and stimulants that can help you to be a more ready individual. I will say that this kind of flirts that line. It's kind of aggressive. It's a little aggressive. Like you could argue that this is borderline pre-workout. Say it's like 3 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon and you're tired of work and you're just waiting for like the clock to run out so you can go home. You're like, I'm just gonna take some Ignite just to get through this last 45-minute meeting. You might be a little cracked out, to be honest with you. This is something that you could use before you go to the gym. You can use it before like cleaning your car, doing some work around the house. Maybe you had a bad night of sleep and you're just not in the position to be tired. This is what you wanna reach for. If you look at the back here, like it's stacked with vitamins and nutrients. I love some of the nootropics as well as the amino acids that are in here. You have L-arginine, L-citrulline, the nootropics blend, which consists of choline, L-tyrosine, and L-butyrate. So I like those. Oh, black pepper too. That's a good one. Vitamin K2. Can't say enough good things about vitamin K2. I actually take a K stack every single day. Non-negotiable. I think everybody should have like a supplement of vitamin K, but that's neither here nor there. So what we sent you is essentially a box that has 12 individual packets. Something else I like about Mountain Ops is like they know that you're not going to be carrying around like a canister or a jug of powder that requires a scoop and a shaker cup. That's inconvenient. So what they've hooked us up with are these individual packets that you can throw in your pocket, throw in your DEFCON 5 duffel bag, throw in your wife's purse, whatever it is, right? And when you need it, you simply rip open the top, pour it into a water bottle, shake it, and drink it. This one is tiger's blood, which I've had before. I mean, if you're a flavors person, it's a great flavor, but I'm not here to sell you on the flavor. Like, I'm all about effectiveness, smart ingredients, well thought out products that actually have an intent for like the user to experience. And like all of that is here. This checks all those boxes. So next time you need a little afternoon pick-me-up, you know, before the range or before work, before school, whatever it is, give this a try. You might want to just do a half stick at first if you're caffeine sensitive. This has got 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is kind of like my upper threshold for a single serving. I know that there's energy drink cans out there that are 300, 350. There's pre-workouts out there that are like 400 plus. I don't think that's a good idea. That's way too much caffeine. But if you're caffeine sensitive, just try half a packet at first. That'd be 100 milligrams per serving. But if you know that you're gonna be okay, go ahead and rip the whole stick, get a full 200 milligrams of caffeine, and get to work. Phenomenal product. I encourage you to use it. Think about this. Think about your readiness, think about your alertness, and think about the full picture of this whole preparedness thing that we're always trying to employ. Mountain Ops is there for you, and we hooked you up. So next I'm gonna show you this little medical product. Bleed Stop. Brought to you by My Medic, Bleed Stop is a truly life-saving product that should be present in every first aid kit. As the name implies, Bleed Stop is designed to stop bleeding, but its ease of use and versatility are what make it a unique product. From minor cuts and scrapes to full-on arterial bleeding, this product can bring blood loss to a screeching halt. Bleed Stop is sterile, hypoallergenic, FDA approved, and can be used on casualties that have blood thinners in their systems. Used by medical professionals, first responders, and everyday preppers, this is a trusted product that could be the difference between life or death in an emergency situation. Earlier I said not everything's about life and death. This is one of those products that's about life and death. So this is a one single-use system. You simply rip open the top, there's a powdery substance on the inside, you pour it on the wound, apply pressure, and it should stop the bleeding. If you're gonna open it up, I wouldn't recommend like, you know, throwing a paper clip or a chip clip on top and then saving the rest for later. It's sterile, so like the moment that it is exposed to air, it's no longer sterile, so whenever you decide to use it, just use the whole thing. You can totally use it on like minor cuts and scrapes, but personally I think just like regular pressure and a bandage would be enough to stop that. Unless the individual that you come upon is on blood thinners, and then you know that those tiny scrapes could actually end up causing someone to bleed out, which is a very scary situation. That's where this is gonna come into play. So I hope, it's one of those products I hope that you never have to use it, but in the event that you come upon a scenario in which someone is bleeding out, and there's no coming back from that. Like when people have severe loss of blood, you are in a very, very bad situation, and you better hope that like true medical professionals, medical attention is on the way. But in the meantime, you got Bleed Stop. Pour it on there, apply pressure, save some lives. This is what it's all about. One teeny tiny little packet could be the difference in saving someone's life. And that's what we're all about. Made in the USA. Doesn't get any better than that, man. We can't promise that everything's made in the USA. We never have promised that. In the event that we can ever utilize or feature a product that is made in the USA, or it is a veteran-owned and operated product, we always reach for those things because that's the people that we care about, man. Up next is a fire starter, a very unique fire starter called Hot Snot. Hot Snot is a unique fire starter that any camper or outdoorsman should keep on hand. Sometimes traditional kindling can fail us if it gets wet or overexposed to the elements. Hot Snot stays perfectly preserved inside a squeezable tube and easily catches fire in any conditions. Simply squeeze it out like a tube of toothpaste and light it up with a match, lighter, or even a ferro rod. Hot Snot is odorless, burns extremely clean compared to other fire starters. And best of all, it is 100% made in the USA. I wasn't even planning on doing back-to-back made in the USA products, but it's funny how that works. So here is your tube of Hot Snot. And yeah, it kind of looks like a tube of toothpaste. It shows up in a box just like most toothpastes at the store. So inside, this is what you got. I didn't even realize their slogan was fire lube in a tube. That's hilarious. Fire lube in a tube. So you just simply pop this bad boy open. It's gonna be sealed. You can use the back of the cap here to open up that seal, and then you squeeze it onto wherever you want to start a fire and light it up, and it's just that easy. It's not often we come across unique fire starters these days. A lot of people are trying to get inventive with it, but they're not better products. You know what I mean? It's just a different way of doing something we've been doing for thousands of years. This is a very unique product, and I'm like very glad that we were able to feature it in Crate this month. You can see in the video here, I squeezed this onto a very, very damp stick and was able to light it on fire instantly. So what's kind of cool about this is the fact that it's sort of a gelatinous, pasty material, which means that whatever you squeeze it onto something, it's gonna stick well. I know you've been there where you have like, you know, dry leaves or some very light tinder or kindling, and it's like can be blown away by the wind or simply by like you trying to blow air into the fire to get it started. You end up blowing all your dry leaves out of the way. This can kind of sort of serve as a coagulant, stick all those things together, and it lights so easily. It burns so well, odorless, it doesn't cause a lot of smoke, and it gets really hot really fast, and it stays burning for more than enough time to get your fire started. With this singular tube of lube, you can easily start dozens, hundreds of fires. So it's a super unique product, and I think it's going to be a nice addition to your next bug out bag when you go camping, whatever it is. This is a really cool product, and I think that you're going to enjoy it. At the very least, you can get excited about offering your friends some fire lube in a tube. Fire lube in a tube. Moving on. Up next is a product that I have personally kept inside of my vehicle for the last 9 to 12 months, and it's something that I highly recommend everyone keep inside their own vehicles. The Rescue Me Car Escape Tool. This 2-in-1 safety device is both a seatbelt cutter and a window breaker. Originally developed for first responders, Rescue Me quickly realized that every driver should own one. Small enough to be carried on a keychain, stored in your glove box, center console, or even attach it to your sun visor for immediate access in the event of an emergency. The seatbelt cutter is made of stainless steel and is shielded by ABS plastic, making it nearly impossible for users to unintentionally cut themselves. Furthermore, the spring-loaded window breaker only requires a small amount of pressure to deploy, making the window breaking process almost effortless. So here we go, the Rescue Me. This is it. This is it in its entirety. That little guy right there, here we go again with the life and death stuff. That little guy right there could be the difference between life and death. What we provided you with was a couple of different carry options, if you want to call it that. So all Rescue Me devices come with a keychain ring, a small zip tie, as well as this clamp and a little adhesive strip. Just recognize you don't have to use all of these. These are not all intended to be used in conjunction with one another. They're just options. So the Rescue Me escape tool is genius because it's 2-in-1. Let's be honest, if you're gonna get trapped in a car, it's probably because of one of two primary reasons. One, the seatbelt not functioning properly, or two, you're stuck inside your vehicle because you can't open the door and you need to get through the glass window. So this bad guy right here, simply pop off the little protective plastic piece. You now have access to the seatbelt cutter on the inside, which is hidden very well. No matter how you handle this thing, you're very unlikely to get your fingers caught up inside there. So it's a very nice safety feature that they've implemented here. After you cut your seatbelt, you simply flip it around, you use the spring-loaded spear on the other side, press it up against your window, and then it's gonna deploy. It's hard to deploy without having pushed it up against an actual hard surface. Woo, there it is. So that's it. All you have to do is press it up against the window like so, and it's gonna break your window instantly. We have field tested this product on multiple occasions. I got very lucky and got access to a junkyard with a bunch of cars and a bunch of windows and a bunch of seatbelts, and I was able to practice utilizing this piece of equipment. Not everybody is lucky enough to have that sort of opportunity pop up, but I do recommend if you ever get a chance to practice cutting a seatbelt and breaking a window with your actual Rescue Me, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. You really don't want the first time that you use a product to be in an emergency scenario. You want it to be familiar. You think, okay, I've done this, I'm not worried about it, I know exactly what's about to happen. Pull out your Rescue Me, cut your seatbelt, break the window, get out, you're safe. So these carry options, right? This one is honestly my least favorite. If it works for you, it works for you, but it kind of goes in like this, and then you don't have to keep the little plastic cover on there, but that would be stowed like this. That is exactly how it would fit. You can then use your little adhesive to be placed on the back of this plastic piece and stick it to wherever you want to stick it to. Personally, this is how I go about it. Get off. Put it on your keychain if you want to. I try to minimize the number of things that are on my keychain because it takes up so much space in my pocket. But what I did is utilize the small zip tie that it comes with, thread it through the seatbelt protector, and then I thread the zip tie over my visor. So as you can see in this video, I keep it right above my visor. It literally sits right next to the window that I would most likely have to break in the event of an emergency. So all I do is reach up, I grab it, cut my seatbelt, break the window, and you're safe. It's amazing. It's so easy. There's a lot of devices, there's a lot of seatbelt cutters, and there's a lot of window breakers, but there's not a whole lot of products that feature both. And those that do are not this small or this convenient. So really, truly, I'm a fan of this. I think I have 2 or 3 of these now. I'm a full believer that every vehicle at your home should have one. So I hope you enjoy this one. I hope you get a chance to figure out how to use it. It is incredibly simple, but it's worth practicing. Up next, I'm gonna show you 2 products. Both are sharp, both are knives. And it's not often we feature 2 knives in one crate. But this month, you got 2 knives in one crate. You want tactical? You got it. This variation of the Civivi Cogent Flipper is a gnarly EDC intended to be used by those who need a reliable blade ready at a moment's notice. Featuring a black on black color scheme and a partially serrated blade, this thing screams tactical. With a 3.47 inch 14C28N steel blade, this flipper is ideal for heavy use and easy maintenance. This steel is particularly known for its excellent edge retention, corrosion resistance, and ease to sharpen. The Cogent also features a button lock and a tip-up pocket clip. The button lock itself is designed with a spring under the button to provide just the right amount of tension so that there's enough resistance to avoid accidental opening while still offering the ideal amount of pressure to release the lock. This knife also features a super aggressive G10 handle, giving the user a confident grip during wet conditions, dry conditions, and everything in between. So we've featured Civivi in the past. We're fans. I hope you're a fan. They just do things well, and like they're affordable knives. Like they're not going to break the bank, but they're like reliable enough to be used in everyday conditions. So of course you got a carry case. Inside your carry case, you have a ridiculous number of little goodies included. I love the knife stickers that they include. So you've got a knife sticker, you've got a 10th anniversary sticker because they just celebrated their 10 years of existence, which is what the significance of this little green sleeve was on the outside. You got a couple of ads in here, some warranty information, and of course they give you a little cloth to maintain your blade. That stuff matters to me. It just kind of shows that Civivi thinks about the product holistically. They think about the end user, and they go to show that there's more than, they have more goals than just giving you something sharp. They want to give you something sharp and reliable, and they want to prove that they're a company that understands the bigger picture. So of course you got your carrying case with a little bit of this plush felt. I don't know what this is, but you may never use the case. For me, once it comes out of the case and goes in my pocket, it's probably never going to go back in the case. But here is your actual Civivi coating. And yeah, that screams tactical. Black on black, button lock, you got the flipper on the backside. Some people prefer that button lock with the thumb. You give it a little flick, which is fine, and it can be closed the same way. But I certainly prefer the little flick on the back with the forefinger. So easy. So it's a good size. This is definitely big enough to be like a deployment knife, maybe slightly large for like an EDC, just kind of depends on the user, how big your hands are, how big your pockets are, and how fitted your clothing is. This works out pretty well for me, but this is kind of on the larger side for what I do for an EDC. Nice deep carry pocket clip. Doesn't really reveal much other than the black clip on the outside. You have a partially serrated blade, which again, I'm personally a fan of. I know through the Army I was cutting a lot of soft materials, which is where serrated edges kind of shine. If you're cutting 550 cord or ropes or even like animal material like meats and skins, sometimes having a serrated edge gives you an advantage because it's not one singular pressure point. The pressure that you are applying is going to be spread across a number of teeth, and then that's going to be much easier to cut through as you're getting through. But it's a great little flipper, man. Aggressive on the outside. You got options on top. Great shape. I love this thing. And I hope that you love it. But in the event that you're not a flipper guy, right? Or girl, we also provided you with a very, very interesting, very unique fixed blade knife. And here it is, the Condor Sip Tool. Condor Sip Knife. Got too many folders in your collection? Try this fixed blade on for size. This limited edition blade was designed specifically with the bushcraft community in mind. With a blade length of 4.5 inches and overall length of 9 inches, this SAE 1095 blade and a beautiful walnut handle, this tool is prepared to put in work. We also included a Condor's classic leather sheath that features a belt loop, and the knife itself contains a lanyard hole, giving the user a variety of carry and deployment options. As part of a limited edition collection celebrating Condor's 20th anniversary, each blade bears a unique serial number, making it a truly one-of-a-kind item, perfect for collectors and enthusiasts. We are confident that this product may very well become your go-to knife for all your outdoor, camping, and bushcraft needs. So I didn't even realize till this exact moment that we featured 2 knives. It was intentional that we featured 2 knives, one being a flipper and one being a fixed blade. Did not think about the fact that one company was celebrating their 10th anniversary while the other was celebrating their 20th anniversary. That was just ironic. So here you go. This is what you got in the box. First of all, they also give you some goodies. I talked about how I think goodies matter because it just shows the amount of effort and care that these companies put in. We've also got a sticker / decal here from Condor Knife and Tool. But more importantly, you have this little certificate that commemorates the product that you just acquired. Certificate, 20th anniversary commemorative knife. Congratulations on your purchase of a Condor Knife and Tool Sip knife. So you actually have a serial number printed here on your little certificate. That serial number is going to match up with what's displayed on your blade. Right there. See? I've got serial number 0181, matches up with my certificate. Do I expect you to like frame this and put it in your office? Probably not, but it's just cool, right? Like this is seriously one of a kind. No one else has this knife because no one else has your serial number. That's pretty cool. Now, speaking of the knife itself, this is pretty much a bush crafter's dream. Full tang, walnut handle, beautiful product. This can be used in the kitchen or it can be used at a campsite and everything in between. It's got some weight to it. This is a no joke workhorse type of knife. It also comes with this beautiful leather sheath, fits in flawlessly, fits in super well, pretty tight. Not gonna come out once it's in there. You've got a belt loop on the side, so it's gonna be a bit of a, it's gonna hang off the back, wherever you wanna put it, right? But it's interesting that we're able to feature both of these knives because I think if you're not in the knife community, you would probably just glance at the knife and be like, yeah, that's a sharp thing used to cut other things, right? But the difference between these two products is so significant, right? One is a straight edge through and through, one has a partially serrated edge, one is significantly heavier than the other, one folds, one does not. This has a pocket clip, this does not, this has a sheath, this does not, but it's all about having options. I think for those of us that are like deep into like the knife world, we would recognize that these are gonna be used in very different scenarios. And what your plans are for that day is gonna dictate which knife you grab. Maybe you grab both, whatever it is, right? But I think whenever a certain task arises, you're gonna know which one's the right option for you in that moment. Yeah, this is sick. I love the finish on this blade. Very aggressive, very earthy. Very, very nice sheath. Smells like real leather, is real leather. You've got the engraving on both sides. It says El Salvador on the back. And again, you have one of one. I've got serial number 0181. I don't know what you got, but I hope it's a cool number. This is a phenomenal product. So there you have it. That is supply drop number 31. You got two knives, two very different knives, a performance supplement, you got medical equipment, and you got a kick-ass bag to put it all in. You also have a Rescue Me safety tool that's gonna go inside your car. I feel like this box, this crate sort of attacks all the angles of preparedness that we care about. Maybe you're not gonna use every single one of these items every single day, but definitely throughout the week, throughout the month, you're definitely gonna find a scenario in which you could use one of these items. And that's what it's all about, man. It's about having cool stuff in your pocket and the right hands, right time, right place. And of course, the right skills matter. If you don't know how to use your stuff, then it's kind of useless. So I recommend you get out there, you put your stuff to use, you get some experience under your belt, so that in the event of an emergency, you're prepared to act accordingly. So that's it, man. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. If you're not part of the crew, I encourage you to join. Go to our website, greatglove.com. We also have a members-only Facebook page. Buy, sell, trade, share ideas, iron sharpens iron. It's a cool community to be a part of, and I encourage you to go join if you haven't done so already. So that's it for now. My name is Austin, and I will see you guys at the next unboxing.